Next on News 4 Tucson at 10, enough is enough. Students here in Tucson and across the country walk out to protest gun violence.
And if you see something, say something. But is anyone listening? News 4 Tucson investigates.
Plus, a shocking end to a barroom confrontation. We've got the video you'll see only here on News 4 Tucson.
Investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 10.
Good evening. Today, across the country, thousands of students walked out of schools demanding gun reform laws, exactly 1 month after the Parkland, Florida school shooting.
From the depths of that tragedy, a movement was formed. Students from coast to coast saying enough is enough, demanding action on gun violence, stressing too many young people have already died. Students across southern Arizona showed up in large numbers for these demonstrations. Yes, including many at Tucson's largest high school. News 4 Tucson's Aliyah Shahid has the story.
It was a busy scene here at Tucson High Wednesday morning with hundreds demonstrating on campus. Students telling me it's not about getting out of class, it's about getting out a message. It all started around 10 Wednesday morning with a performance by the choir. Then hundreds of students gathered on the steps for a 17-minute moment of silence in honor of the 17 shooting victims in Parkland, Florida. The school then hosted a forum where students could express themselves. Students I spoke with say they no longer feel safe at school and they want something to change.
At school, we've received multiple threats this year of gun shootings just here, so it's definitely stressful, and I know that me and many of my friends don't feel safe here on a daily basis.
Recently, especially because of the Parkland shooting, I just feel like that could happen at any moment. I don't want to have to text my mom or dad and have to say, my school is getting shot up, I don't know if I'm going to make it out.
Aliyah Shahid, News 4 Tucson.
Meantime, in Oro Valley, hundreds of students at Canyon del Oro High School also walked out.
Yes, it was an event that brought about memories from a Tucson tragedy dating back 7 years ago.
CDO students spent 18 minutes remembering the victims of the Parkland, Florida shooting, one of those minutes dedicated to Christina Taylor Green, who would have been a sophomore this year. Christina was the youngest of 6 people killed during a Congress on Your Corner event north of Tucson on January 8th, 2011. CDO students stood as one, some holding signs, voicing their concerns about gun violence and demanding school safety. The national walkout, a symbol of possible change to come.
I think that no matter what people believe, people acknowledge that change is needed. And I think that people acknowledge proactive change is needed so that we can stop it outside of the school rather than waiting for it to come in. During the walkout, students also took the opportunity to write heartfelt messages and sign their name on a banner, which will all be sent to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in the coming days. In Oro Valley, Zach Briggs, News 4 Tucson.
For one school in Tucson, the walkout was interrupted before it even began. The fire alarm went off at Emily Gray Junior High at 9:58 this morning, just 2 minutes before the scheduled walkout. Parents say there are 4 schools in that district, and this was the only school that disrupted the walkout. Parents and their children who spoke out about the interruption asked to stay anonymous.
It really goes to show that, well, they were trying to stop us from going out and expressing how we feel about this, about how we feel about the shootings.
News 4 Tucson has reached out to the Tanque Verde School District about the interruption, but we have not heard back.
The House of Representatives also had their minds on school safety today. They approved a bill that authorizes $500 million over 10 years for grants to improve training and coordination between schools and local law enforcement. House Speaker Paul Ryan says the bill provides a multi-layered approach to identify threats so authorities can intervene before violence occurs. In the meantime, law enforcement continues to follow up on school threats. A 14-year-old boy was arrested in connection to a threat circulating on social media, which was directed at Catalina Foothills High School. He now faces a Class 6 felony, interfering or disrupting an educational institution today. There was increased security on campus as students participated in a walkout.
Police always say, if you see something, say something. But we found out that process isn't always that easy. News 4 Tucson, Sam Salzwedel investigates.
We've said on the news many times, if you have information on this case, call 911 or 88 Crime. Last week, I called 911. Maybe the police could not take action on my call. Maybe my tip wasn't very good. But I found out talking to the police had a lot of obstacles.
Heading towards Speedway. It's a white van with some messed up paint on the back.
That's me on the phone with 911. Last month, this trailer was stolen from Ram Plumbing. Then one of the employees saw the van pulling the trailer, and police did not respond to the call in time to make an arrest. Ryan Holyfield is the company manager who said in a previous report that the case was handed to police on a silver platter.
If this would have happened in any other of the surrounding cities, they'd have been on it. They'd have been right there to catch it. With all the evidence that they have, there's no doubt they would have been right there to grab the guy.
Last Friday, I believe I saw that van driving down Oracle Road.
We don't want you to follow the vehicle, okay?
The call taker may have been right, but I wanted to follow up and let detectives know I think the van has a new license plate.
I'm going to call 911 and try to provide a tip in this criminal investigation.
911, what is the emergency?
Hi there, I want to provide a tip in a criminal case to Tucson police.
Okay, I'm going to transfer you over to auto theft.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Central investigation.
Call ended. I just got disconnected trying to talk to TPD's auto theft unit, I believe.
Okay, I'll reconnect you. Stay on the phone.
You have reached the Tucson Police Department's Emergency Communication Call Center. Stay on the line for the next available emergency call taker. You have reached the Tucson Police Department's Emergency Communication Call Center. Stay on the... Tucson Police, Trudeau.
Hi there. I'm trying to provide a tip in a case.
Okay, the number is 520.
Thank you very much.
You have reached the Central Investigations Division. If you need to make a report, please hang up and call 791. Please try your call again soon. Thank you. Please call again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. We're unable to complete your call.
Holyfield was out of town, so I talked to him on the phone.
Knowing that you can't even get a tip out to anybody to even give a hand to try to get somebody like this off the streets, it kind of gives you a feeling of hopelessness. What good is it to even call the cops at this point?
So it's now Monday. On Friday, I made a couple unsuccessful attempts to talk to police to provide a tip to follow up in a case, and I was not very successful. So I actually just Googled the Tucson Police non-emergency phone number, and I'm going to try to give it a call.
You reached the Tucson Police Department non-emergency and general information line. For detectives assigned to auto theft, burglary, and fraud details, please call 791-5171.
And the call immediately disconnected when I believe somebody tried to answer. Let's try this again.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. We're unable to complete your call.
I can't help but wonder if you're this white van's neighbor and he's parked next to you every day and you want to report this, I'm wondering if anybody's going to take this report or if anybody's tried to make a tip better than the one I've provided here.
Tucson police were unable to explain what happened or why it happened. A sergeant did say they were looking into it. After I told TPD's Public Information Office about my experience and that I was doing this report, a detective assigned to the case did call me and he took my tip. If you have a story you'd like us to investigate, email investigators@KVOA.com or call 955-4444. Investigating for you, Sam Salzwedel, News 4 Tucson.
Straight ahead here on News 4 Tucson at 10, a local bar owner confronts a group that tried to bail out on their bill, and it doesn't end well for the unruly customers.
Plus, a bomb blast rattles nerves on the southwest side. Matt.
All right, Angelique, we're still tracking some wet weather to our northwest. It's across sections of California, some snow in the Sierra Nevada. So what does this mean for our forecast over the course of the next couple of days? I'll answer that coming up right here after the break.
Investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson. John Overall, Angelique Lizardi, Paul Sakala, and Matt Brode. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 10.
A group of 6 people at a local bar tried to skip out on their bill, but the owner wasn't about to let them get away with it.
No, in fact, he took matters into his own hands. News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink has the exclusive video in a story that you'll only see on 4.
Frank Silverman owns Tucson's Midtown Tavern. Last Thursday night, 6 people stopped in for dinner and drinks. The final 2 people in the group got up from the table and tried to leave without paying the tab.
A bill for $126, and they were trying to get out the door.
You can see the male and female patrons sitting here after a server locked the door to stop them from walking out. The man begins to have words with Silverman. He punches Silverman in the chest. Moments later, you see the bar owner pull out his taser, and the customer goes to the ground. Shortly after, the police show up.
They came in and arrested both of them for disorderly conduct and assault, and they went to jail.
The suspects are identified as Armando Garcia and Erica Ojeda Coco.
People don't realize that it is like me, you know, who's paying for your meal at the end of the day. It comes out of my pocket.
Taylor Rio is the one who served the couple. She says when customers walk out without paying, it's often the ones like Rio who are hit hardest.
Don't go out to eat if you can't tip your waitresses or if you can't afford to pay the bill. You know, if you can't afford $25 for your meal, don't go out to eat. You know, I can't afford it any more than you can.
A bill like $126 can just about take the whole day profit away.
Both suspects face multiple counts of disorderly conduct and assault. And the Tucson Police Department says it's a judgment call. If you can prove self-defense, you can legally tase someone. In Midtown, I'm Eric Fink, News 4, Tucson.